বাংলাদেশ নিয়ে বিদেশ মন্ত্রকের তরফ থেকে বিবৃতি দেওয়া হচ্ছে, কি বলা হচ্ছে শোনাবো।
From the Hindu, I wanted to ask about the recent U.S. Department of Justice and SEC indictments of the Adani Group and I think 8 officials in all, including its chairperson. To begin with, I wanted to ask whether India was informed of these investigations and at what point any cooperation sought from India into these investigations. Conversely, has India, now that the indictments have been filed, actually asked for evidence to support any investigations in India? Because the crimes committed, according to the U.S. Foreign corrupt practices, are really have been committed in India allegedly. So those were my 2 questions. And also how the government actually sees a U.S. investigation into alleged bribery and corruption in India being investigated there. Do you see it as a case of U.S. overreach? And just one follow-up, if possible, how do you respond to the Bangladesh Foreign Ministry statement that essentially says, speaking about the internal legal system, the cases against an individual are an internal matter for Bangladesh? How do you respond to that?
Sudhi?
So, Shruti Ranjan from Bloomberg. So, adding on to Suhasini's question, if you could give us clarity on whether the warrant or the summons have been served on the Indian High Commission in Washington, and if so, what is then the legal process, and by what time do we expect the same to be served on Mr. Adani?
Anima?
Dynama from ABP Live. Just following on Ayanangsho's question, is this a matter of concern? How is India viewing it, the first shipment of cargo from Karachi to Chattogram port? Thank you.
Jugal?
So, hi, this is Jugal from BBC. I've got 2 questions, sir. We saw that the Chief of Army Staff had visited Nepal earlier this week, and it was said to be a highly successful visit after he arrived back in India. The question is, was the issue of the Agniveer scheme and Nepal's lack of participation for the Gorkha troops, was that discussed with the Nepalese government? And whether it is an ongoing discussion or we're not now into that domain at all. And the second question is, we've seen some reports of Indian workers who are stranded in Maldives as a result of non-payment of their wages and some work visa processing issues. I believe out of 9 of them, 2 or 3 have managed to return, but the remaining still are stranded. If you could just give us a comment on what the MEA is doing on that case.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sanjay?
My question is slightly transatlantic. It's about tragic death of Indian woman, Hasita Brela. Apparently suspect is an Indian citizen who is run away from UK. Has the Indian government received any red corner notice or any request to sort of pursue the investigation in India?
Okay. So, Suhasini, first coming to question. We see this as a legal matter involving private firms and individuals and the U.S. Department of Justice. Obviously, there are established procedures and legal avenues in such cases which we believe will follow, would be followed. And the government of India, so far, we have not, to answer your question, we have not been informed in advance on the issue. We haven't had any conversation also on this particular matter with the U.S. government. Also, related question came from Sudhi. So, I would like to inform you that, any request by a foreign government for service of summons or arrest warrant is part of mutual legal assistance. But such requests are examined on merits. We have not received any request on this case from the U.S. side. This is a matter which pertains to a private individual and a private entity. The government of India we are not legally, we are not part of it in any manner. at this point in time. So we see it as a case between the U.S. Department of Justice and private individuals and entities. On the question regarding Bangladesh, on the arrest of Chinmay Das, we had issued a statement, and it is our expectation that, while we know that the case moves on, legal processes are underway, it is our expectation that he will get fair and transparent trial, and that his legal rights will be respected. Sudhi, I answered your question on warrant. Nainima, again, to Ayan's question, as far as we are concerned, there is exchange of commodities between India and Bangladesh, and that continues. Jugal, to answer your question, Chief of Army Staff, yes, he visited Nepal. It was a good visit, fruitful visit. Several aspects of our ongoing cooperation were discussed. Whether exactly this particular issue was addressed or not, I am not certain, but I can come back to you on this particular matter.
বাংলার আওয়াজ, বাঙালির আবেগ, জি 24 ঘন্টা।